welcome back to Insanely Creating. Thank you so much for being here. As you've seen from the thumbnail, we are going to be making something from one of my all-time favourite movie franchises. Just bear with me. Let me go and get it. Wow, that's it. It's a Ghostface mask, and not any Ghostface mask. It's one of my absolute favourite sculpts behind the KMB, and it's a fake. It's a really, really good fake. The reason that we've chosen to grab a bootleg mask for this custom is because, one, we don't want to customise one of our genuine ones. We keep those carded and on display. And also, this one has been made out of a slightly different texture. So in theory, hopefully, the materials that we use today to customise it should adhere to it a lot better than it would on a glossy mask. So here are some of the images that I'm going to be using as my reference pictures. They do differ slightly. You will notice that there are extra cracks under one of the eyes in some pictures and not in others. So I'm just going to do my absolute best to just sort of merge them all together and create a mask that we want on display. So I started by giving the whole mask a good spray of Mr. Super Clear sealant. This actually just gives it a little bit of an extra rough texture so that hopefully more things will be able to stick properly. I'm really worried about things flaking off. But once that was dry, I went in with my epoxy sculpt and put a really thin amount all over where there's the most damage on the mask. Once that started drying slightly or curing slightly, I went in with my X-Acto blade and my other sculpting tools and tried to replicate the damage as best as possible. I also tried to smooth out the areas on the outside of the clay back into the mask just so that it was as seamless as it possibly could be. And just to blend those pieces in further, I stippled over some white matte acrylic paint. Next, I'm going to get my soft pastels. I'm going to scrape some of the greys and the browns together to make a little powder that I can then use my makeup brushes to blush the mask and create some extra texture on there that I wouldn't be able to make with paint. Next, we're just grabbing the matte Folkart acrylic paint, and I'm just going to fill in the areas that were black and just neaten up the lines around the eyes, the nose and the mouth. Any acrylic that you decide to use on the mask, make sure that it is a matte finish and not a glossy or satin finish. Otherwise you might get a bit of a glare once you're taking photos of your mask, whether you're using this for display or cosplay. I've taken the acrylic that I had left and I've added loads of water to it and made it super watery, and I am just going to splosh this straight onto the mask where the deep crevices and cracks are, and I'm wiping it away almost immediately with my tissue, and this should just hopefully get a lot of paint into those little cracks and scarring that I've created and just help bring it out more and make it really obvious. And finally, I'm going to go in with some watercolour pencil just to get some final details in there and the cuts and scrapes that I didn't put in physically. I'm putting down a little bit of water first. This just helps the pencil go down a little bit smoother and I can get some extra details in. And it's done! I am loving how this turned out and my husband is so pleased with it. He's been asking for one of these ever since the Scream 6 trailer dropped and he finally has it to add to his collection. I will link his YouTube and his Instagram in the description box below. Are you looking forward to the movie? We certainly are. We've already booked our tickets and we cannot stop predicting what we think is going to happen. My latest prediction is that I believe there are many ghost faces and Kirby is the ringleader. There has to be a way that they were able to get so many ghost face masks and other evidence that surely would be in police lockup. What do you think? Comment your predictions down below. And with that, it's time to take a few quick snapshots with our 25th anniversary Ghostface robe. Thank you again for coming to watch my video. Like it if you liked it, and if you ended up loving it, please consider a subscribe and ding the bell so that you do not miss out on any future projects that I end up doing. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.